Today I have two things going on. One, I'm going camping. This is going to be a solo camping trip going about 100 miles to Stratton, Maine, where I'm going to get on the Bigelow Land Preserve and hopefully find a campsite. Second, I'm giving my 10,000 mile review of the DR650. There was some rain forecasted for today, and the weather didn't disappoint. It rained for about half of my ride, which in total was about 2 hours. So it was a little damp, but I didn't get soaked through. My outer layers kept me pretty dry, so I was happy about that. And by the time I got to the Bigelow Land Preserve area, things were pretty well dried out. As I'm riding down into the parking lot area, I'm noticing lots and lots of vehicles. There were people everywhere. I figured a lot more hikers, but some were definitely campers, and there was no place for me to stay. As I'm coming up to this site, I'm feeling really confident. There's nobody in the parking lot. It took me a while to get here down a very secluded dirt road, and I'm pretty excited to get down there and see what it's like. The sign says no motorized vehicles, so I'm taking a little walk. And as I'm coming up to the sites, I see a tent. There's actually two sites here, one which is taken and the other is open, but it has a sign that says no campfires. So I don't know why you'd want to camp here with no campfires. Some people must do it, but I'm not about to. So I head back. Travel down that road a ways, but it ends up just being a dead end, so I had to turn around, go back out the way I came, back to the main road, and then I head to the Dead River unit. Down this road, I found another campsite, and again, looked promising. No one in the parking lot. It was another walk-to site, but again, there were people there, so I turned around, came back. And at this point, I'm feeling a little frustrated. Some people see me taking out my map and try to give me some pointers, but their directions were very confusing. I'm not sure if they knew where they were, really. We got out the maps and tried to figure things out, but the map and the GPS weren't linking up. My GPS was telling me I was one place, and these people were telling me I was somewhere else. So I was really wondering what I was going to do. This guy had a pretty good pointer on some campsites, but his directions were a little hard to follow. I didn't think I could find them, but thought I'd give it a try. As I'm headed down the road, though, I see these hikers, and they were coming out of the campsite that I just left.
How you doing?
I decided to talk to them.
Good. How are you? Good. Were you guys just down at the campsite down there?
Yeah.
Were you camping there? Or?
No.
Is there anyone down there?
No.
No, it's empty.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ready for
Looks
you.
like you're out on a trip.
Yeah, looking for a place to stay tonight. So.
Yep.
It's
No.
perfect.
Yeah, you park right there and walk down the trail.
Awesome.
We just hiked in there for lunch.
Yep. I walked in a little bit. I saw people down there. I turned around. So.
Oh, okay.
It must have been you guys. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're leaving, headed back to our other campsite.
Awesome.
Yep. Yep.
We'll enjoy it.
That's a
Thank
sweet
you.
bike.
Thank you very much.
Wow.
It's like the right tool for this.
Yes.
So that campsite was actually open. They were just having lunch there, so I figured figured I'd try and get the bike down in there. I figure if I can get this rock out of the way, I can squeeze in between those two big ones, but that rock is not moving. I couldn't even budge it, so ended up making the decision to walk my gear down the trail. I figured those saddlebags weigh about 65 or 70 pounds, so it wasn't terrible coming down there, and it only took me about 10 minutes to make a round trip, so it wasn't that long, but not something I really want to do again. I like the drive to sites. I made 2 trips, which gave me majority of my gear, everything I really needed, and then it was time to set up. I have a new sleeping pad and sleeping pillow, both inflatable, and they pack up definitely a lot smaller than my last sleeping pad, so I'm pretty happy about that. Gives me a lot of extra room for food or whatever I need to take with me. And this is what it looks like now with my sleeping bag, my new mat, and the new pillow. I'm on a camping trip, sitting by the fire, and on this camping trip, my motorcycle turned 10,000 miles. The DR650 I bought in 2016 from the dealer, new. I rode it in 2016, 2017, 2018, and now it's 2019. So 4 years I've had this bike. What do I think of it after 10,000 miles? Well, I think it's the perfect bike for me and how I ride. May not be the perfect bike for you, but for me, I couldn't ask for anything better. I thought a lot about getting a different motorcycle, maybe something a little smaller for the trails, maybe something a little heavier for the highway. I really wanted a WR250 for a really long time. I still want a WR250. And I really wanted a Africa Twin for a long time, and I still would really like an Africa Twin. But those are bikes that I would have two of. I would need both. I would need a WR250 for trails, and I would need the Africa Twin for highway and moto camping and things like that. The DR650 does both, which is why I have it. So my 10,000 mile review of the DR650 is nothing but praise. I love the thing. And since I love it so much, I'm a little biased. But, hey, every owner is, I think. So the reason I don't have a KLR 650 is because there's just too much plastic. You can't see the front wheel as well, so they're not as good on trails. The ground clearance isn't as good, so they're not as good on trails. I love doing trails, ATV trails, so I need a trail bike. I also love to go moto camping, and that's what a lot of my friends do, so that's why I really love the DR650. I was actually thinking about selling it and getting something smaller for trails, because that's what I was primarily doing. But then I met a bunch of friends who started moto camping, and I got into that. And the DR650, while it's not perfect for moto camping, it'll let me do both. I can load it right up with gear and go moto camping, or I can strip it down and go trail riding. So that's why I love it so much. That, and let's be serious here, I'm 240 pounds fully dressed. A 250 isn't going to get me anywhere. A 400, hey, that's got about as much horsepower as the DR650, but that seat is a 2x4. The DR650 has a nice big seat, nice big comfortable place to sit. So, my 10,000 mile review of the DR650, I love it. I wouldn't have any other bike.